Hello everyone. In this episode of the Moon Podcast, I present to you a little bit of an observation from the back garden. So here it goes. I spend a lot of time sitting in my garden observing nature. It brings me infinite peace. Sitting on the grass is for me the perfect place to meditate. It's better than going to the park where there are lots of noisy people who will disturb my peace. My garden is my favorite personal private space where I have a piece of nature all to myself. However, I am not alone. This is where some of the most amazing creatures are going about their daily lives without a care in the world. While everyone else is watching television or doom scrolling on social media, their eyes glued to screens, missing out on what's going on around them, I am in the midst of a peaceful community created by Mother Nature herself. An unwritten theatre is played out all around me. A group of honeybees are gathered around a flower in my garden called Orpine Hylotelephium telephium, to be specific, all of them busy collecting pollen from the pink flowers to make us delicious honey. Next to these flowers is a plant called Laurus nobilis, bay leaf that is ideal for cooking. It has a dark red and green stems with dark green leaves that are wavy at the edges. Together they are holding a large spider web in between them, and right in the middle is a spider, staying still, patiently waiting for its prey. This spider is a spotted orb weaver, and is about 2 centimeters long, brown, dark brown, beige, and orange in colored. All of this is taking place under a jasmine tree producing its last few blossoms as the summer season comes to a close. The smells of the jasmine are not strong in the evenings as they are in Cyprus. In this British climate, the smell has already faded. Among the grass, I can see a black and yellow hoverfly. At first glance, it looks like a wasp, but it doesn't have the same buzzing sound or move like one. The hoverfly is silent and steady in its flight, inspecting every blade of grass as it hovers. What is it looking for? It takes a short break on a grass before it leaves. At that moment, a magpie swoops down from the sky and lands in position on the edge of a bird bath in the corner of my garden. It's a male. They are larger than females, and they have longer tails, and they have shades of blue on the black parts of their wings. He leans forward and bends his head down to have a drink of water. He lifts his head up, looks around for danger before having another sip. He looks around one more time before having one last drink. He leaps onto the wooden fence to observe his surroundings. He spreads his wings, flaps them a few times before taking flight. A white butterfly floats by and flies around one flower after another. It moves in a steady, swirly fashion like a little slow dance, and then it lands on a pretty little white flower to have a little rest. The white butterfly blends in with this flower perfectly, so white, looking so pure. This flower is called a rosemallow, Hibiscus mosquiotus, to be specific. They usually have red petals with a yellow stigma, and there are ones with white petals with a dark reddish pink color on the inside of the flower where the pale yellow stigma is. But not this one, not the ones in my garden. They are all white, the petals and the stigma. Had I not seen the white butterfly float around me before landing on the flower, I never would have noticed it. The effortless camouflage is an impressive sight to behold. The white butterfly takes flight and flies up to swirl around the apples in my cooking apple tree. I'm sitting in the shade under a grape tree with layers of large leaves that will be perfect for making stuffed vine leaves with rice, tomato sauce and spices. In Cyprus we call them dolmades. These leaves are accompanied by freshly grown grapes hanging on the vines, purple and juicy, and among them I see a wasp looking for something to eat, taking a bite out of one of the grapes. The wasp and the spider are both arthropoda, which belong in the phylum category in the animal kingdom. All the plants and all the flowers are related to each other in some way. We are all part of this vast, ancient family tree. That is the will of Mother Nature. This is the harmony in my garden. It is amazing. While all the technology out there is fighting for my attention, trying to impose anxiety upon me, being outside among nature helps me ignore it. It plagues my family and friends with constant negativity. In my garden, I find myself at ease and content with where I am, feeling the grass, breathing in the air, listening to all the sounds of nature, like the birds singing. My love for Mother Nature, I find myself content and at peace. I let myself be happy. I deserve to accept the healing and the beauty all the plants offer me, expecting nothing in return. It is here. I am free. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you found this enjoyable. Take good care of yourselves.